We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about a bullish cross that could fire up Bitcoin to the next level if and when it's happening. I'm going to show it exactly where its position is and what needs to be happening to have this bull cross going on, and we are also going to talk a little bit about the other factors in the market today, a little bit more macro oriented. We will check this out and talk about altcoins as well, so make sure to stay all the way through. So, good morning to each and every one of you. I see the rare hodlers are in the house. Chris Klein is here already. Hello, sir. Sorry, it's been a while since I've caught a live show. Super excited to be here, though. Awesome. Good to see you, man. And I don't know where you've been, but you are always welcome here on the channel, of course. And G-Money bringing the coffee here, so let's take a deep sip of coffee, see what's going on. I don't know why still the image here is not the correct, the fully correct one yet in the background, but we are getting there. Give me some more time. I have to remove still one person here. But anyways, the rare hodlers in the back, thank you very much. Also, each and every one of you who is coming to those early morning streams. Yesterday we had a great live stream for the VV drop. So if you're interested in Ecomi and VV, there is a nice content-rich stream for you to still watch. Check it out. Unfortunately, I'm always getting demonetized by watching VV trailers. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So make sure to check that out. And now let's talk about the action in the market. Bitcoin, a little bit short term down. Today we are slightly green already. Maybe we are retesting one or the other level here. Which could be going on until we reach that 91,000 level or so. We could wick down there. Maybe it happens, maybe not. But the overall trajectory is bullish and positive, and I want to show you some things on the monthly and on the weekly. You all know this chart and setup, right? We have our big inverse head and shoulders marked in here. We have the breakout, we have the retest, and a continuation candle for May here, where we are expecting to at least challenge the next all-time high within this month, or the previous all-time high challenge, and maybe put in a new all-time high. What I wanted to show you is this. We have a potential bull cross, and I will show it to you. Please don't consider it yet as a full bull cross yet. We see it here. The lines are extremely hard converging here, but we haven't confirmed it yet. But here we have the other bull crosses already marked, and I want to show you what happens once this bullish cross is effective immediately there. And actually, usually things are happening right before that bull cross already, because it's a lagging indicator. So the bull cross happens because of the positive price action, but hints at massive positive price action. So first bull cross this here, down here, has marked the bottom and led to a massive increase until this second bull cross here, or basically until this here, and then there was a bear cross, which was about 80% pump. Then we had another bull cross up here, right, which led to until here, 190% pump. And then another bear cross, which led us to this correction, this mega long correction. And then we had another bull cross, which led to 80%, again 80% pump. Another bear cross here, which led to our most recent correction, or better, our recent correction led to this. And now we're looking at the next bull cross. So could we see another at least 80% pump, obviously beginning here? That would bring us to about 135,000, which is coincidentally also our Bitcoin top prediction here. Well, we will see if it happens. Let's see here. Chris Klein saying, my work schedule changed heavily, and considering it's midnight here when it's 8 there, it makes for a bit of schedule conflict, but I need to be more dedicated, so here I am. Yeah, at least the good thing is that also when it's 8 here, it's not 8 yet, it's only 7:30, so if the stream would start a couple of minutes earlier, then it's better for you, I figured that. Guys, we have 11 people here, so please smash up the like button for the Crypto Morning Coffee. I have just showed you the bull crosses that are happening here. Let's look at something else. On the weekly, and now you can ignore the bull crosses on the bottom, but look at this. If we put the Gaussian channel in, then we can clearly see how we use it as support at the moment and bounce off of it, right? So we see it here, we see it here, we see it here, just a wick in it, and boom, right? We are off to the next pump. The Gaussian channel also will tell us after a while, but way too late, when the bear market started. Usually when you crash into it and cross this line, then it's over, right? And then you stay, you use it basically as overhead resistance, stay under it, and then when you come out, it's bull market, but also too late, the indicator. So here we see it now acting as support. That more for your information, right? Let's have a quick look at the outside world. Quick look at what the news are, or what the headlines are saying, and then we can see what is going to influence volatility in the second. So China risks spiral into deeper deflation as it diverts US bonds export to domestic market. Trump takes credit for good parts of economy, blames bad parts of Biden. Okay, that is to be expected from every government, right? China, okay, we had that. Australia stocks fall after Prime Minister Albanese returns to power. Okay, so nothing really too crazy. Stock futures inch lower, S&P 500 notches best winning streak in 20 years. Bottom line is, in my opinion, we're still following global liquidity, right? You know that I'm a big fan of that, and I think that also, I mean, the correlation is high. I have it somewhere here. Where is it? I had it pulled up somewhere here. Oh yeah, here, right? So there was actually in this thread, which is basically a summary of the Raoul Pal stuff. This one here. Here it's summed up. 90% of Bitcoin's price action coincides with global M2 expansion on a 12-year lead. On a 12-week lead. 12-year would be horrible. and 97% of the Nasdaq's moves are correlating with that as well. So and you see here already what's then, if that is a 12-week lead, then you know the programming for the next at least 10 weeks, considering that we maybe consumed 2 weeks of upwards now. But the next 10 weeks, which is 2.5 months, right? That brings us into August or something like that, like in the beginning of August, middle of August. A big hug from Italy. Thanks for your video. Thank you very much, Trecani. And I hope I said that right. And but what's going on is on the 7th of May, in 2 days, we are going to see another potential non-rate cut. So according to, let's actually refresh this, because I don't know if this is the correct, when I've refreshed it last time for the CME watch tool. So in 2 days, as you see here on the counter, 2 days, 12 hours and 30 minutes, yeah, here it's a little bit higher. 5% expect rate cut, whereas 94.8% think rates stay the same, okay? So, but still, whatever is being said on that press conference could send Bitcoin either direction, right? So we have the Fed press conference in the evening here around to 8:30 Central European time. The decision at 8, and then also ISM service PMI. So we will see what's happening there, but that could cause some volatility, right? Back to the M2 history, and I think this is really something where there's almost no debate about this, right? And now I have to get rid of the chat quickly. There's almost no debate about it. Let's pull this up here a little bit more. Okay. So once more, the white line is the Bitcoin price, okay, over its entire history. The pink line is the money supply, which at the inception of Bitcoin was only 59 trillion. So they were adding trillions of dollars over time, and now we are at peak, we were at 63 trillion. No, sorry, 108 trillion. 108 trillion. And now we were down to 104, and now we're coiling up. But we're expecting to have another 10 trillion or so added in no time here, right? And we see that in all these phases, we have a year-over-year rate of either growth or compression of money supply, right? And what's happening is usually when you have this compression of the money supply, then we are falling into a deep bear market. It starts here, and that marks the rapid end of the bull market and collapse into bear market. Actually, you are already in a bear market here, as well as here, right? So you have the peak money supply, and bam, you fall into contraction, right? And when the contraction hits here, it's the Bitcoin bottom. And we also had it here, and it was the Bitcoin bottom. When we came out of it, it was already good. But this time, we had many more small dips in this year where we fell into contraction again, which explains why it was so exhausting, right? And then we had another little pump here, but nothing compared to the year-over-year growth rates in money supply of the past cycles, right? Not yet. But now we're expanding again, and very likely we're going to outperform this, and this is bringing us into our last leg of the bull run, right? So everything plays together. It's not only this, but also the change here. Like this, we don't know where this ends, right? But right now it's pointing to about 140,000 Bitcoin price, somewhere there between 130 and 160k. We don't know where exactly it ends, but it's pointing in that direction. And please, you see, this is not a straight diagonal, right? It's not a straight line. In fact, it has dips, and we see that dips are also reflected in the Bitcoin price. So please don't consider that we are now going up in a diagonal straight line without any dips and setbacks, especially here when we are coming closer to the area of 140,000 beyond all-time high. We see massive dips. Okay, so this will cause some panic, right? And also it will cause again the narrative of the bull market having ended and so on. But major setbacks at around the 100 level, and then 110, 20k, 140k. I think that's almost a guaranteed based on this, right? Here's the chat back, by the way. So that is that. And now I've already discussed it on a video, but I have to discuss it again and again, because the narrative right now is that altcoins are dead, or that altcoins are not, like the altcoin season will not happen. And that is because the altcoin prices are low, right? I mean, that's the logarithmic. If we look at this on a non-logarithmic scale, the trend stays the same. And then we would have to move this somewhere in here, right? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Or it doesn't fit anymore because this is a logarithmic pattern, right? But what I'm going to, or what I want to discuss here is, I think that's the point where alts are not performing so well and are low and so on. That's where you want to be positioned in altcoin, or start to get positioned in altcoins, and I will show you why. And by the way, that's not financial advice. So what I'm doing, so I'm going to, with the money that I have, position into altcoins, right? And in that video, I explained also, this is risk on, this is risk off, right? And what I just had up, this is determining whether the phase is risk on or risk off, right? So all these monetary contraction phases that we had here in this one with the red spikes, right? These ones, they are telling risk off, right? Plus what's happening globally right now with trade war and so on, they're saying risk off. Hence, the money was flowing into this part, right? But then after that, usually there comes the phase where something happens to make everyone go risk on again, which is this one. Obviously not what makes everyone go into altcoins, but in general, stocks, tech stocks, whatever, more risky environment, right? The fact of the matter is, and I wanted to simplify the Bitcoin dominance chart, as you've not seen it. The fact of the matter is we are somewhere in going to overhead resistance in Bitcoin dominance, and in this, altcoins are getting wrecked against Bitcoin, right? So I see it also in my personal portfolio. My Bitcoin is about 65% now, and altcoins are on the shrinking foot, so to say, right? Why? Because Bitcoin is just gaining more and more dominance, more and more momentum in my portfolio, whereas altcoins are losing against Bitcoin, which would be basically the inverted chart, right? That would be altcoins, right? So the question is until when? And I'd say until here, which is 70 to 71%, maybe even a little bit more, like 73%. That is still a hell of a way to go, because this is the monthly chart. So I expect, now that we have broken this overhead resistance, which I expected before would be already the turning point, which was at 58%, now we are very likely going to 70%, 71%. Okay, so until then, altcoins are getting wrecked, and that is, in my opinion, the best time to get positioned in altcoins if you believe in a turnaround, right? That would look like this, and then that's the altcoin season, right? Which would be, if we come up in the next couple of months here, and then we get our alt season, it would go into the end of the year and into the beginning of next year. So maybe we were just a slight bit of 1 full year off with the altcoin season prediction, okay? We see it also here. I mean, it could have happened here, September 19, but when did it actually happen? January 21, right? So more than a year after it did happen here, right? After reaching this high. You came back, you had one season then, or one part of the season, and then came back up and boom, then big altcoin season, right? We don't know how exactly it will happen here, but I'm pretty sure that in some shape or form it will happen, and it's probably when everyone gave up on it already. And I'm not going to be that one. Tell you that right now. Yeah, so that is with regards to altcoins, and we see it also like the current part is not the most euphoria. We see it in the Google search trends. Here it is again. Bitcoin is blue, altcoins are red, and NFTs are yellow. Having on that until the 3rd of May, a 20 on Bitcoin and a 2 on altcoins and NFTs. Both are not searched for at all compared to phases like these here in the bull market, right? This year and this year. Okay, so we're still waiting. Also Bitcoin, I mean, the Bitcoin search volume was fairly low compared to here, yeah? Even in June 22, when the bear market was raging, Bitcoin was searched more for than right now, even though we have the ETFs and so on, which really points at retail does not have money to invest, therefore doesn't look for things like that. Not yet. Retail doesn't have money yet, but the moment that this happens, or the moment that this global M2 hits the pockets of people through whatever, salary increases, bonus, stimulus packages, new employment, and so on, they are looking for a way out, okay? So I'm pretty sure that happens. One thing that worries me short term is BTC1, CME futures. I think not worrying, not in the sense of, hey, something could be happening to the bull market, but more like that prices could come back quite a bit more as to 91,800 or so max to close the CME gap, right? Because it's still open, and we've seen what happens if the CME gap is still open partially. Usually price circuits back, closes it, and then it comes, and we have another one open now, which is basically then the way back. It's a small one, but it's here, okay? So the expectancy or the expectation would be we come down, close this, go up, and continue and close this on the way. That's what I would expect here from Bitcoin. Don't ask me exactly why it's happening, but it's happening every time. You see all these gaps, all the open gaps are filled at some point. Also here, everywhere you look in Bitcoin's history, almost everywhere, it's more than 90% of all CME gaps get filled. Here, opens, comes back, closes it, rallies, right? Opens, closes it, opens, comes back, closes it, continues the bull run, right? It's everywhere. And also here we see the ones that opened in the bear market. It takes a time, but then the price comes back and closes one by one. So I don't think we have any other CME gaps open from back then. now we have those two open, so price action is probably going to involve both these levels. 91,970, I think it's the lowest point, or 92,000 flat, and this the upper one is 96,825, and I think in between that we will be in this week. Let's see. Let us see. Altcoins are doing altcoin things. Some things just pumping. The market is led by Turbo today, 15.9%, as well as AKT with 9.1% and Kava with 9.8%. Those are positive. The rest is mixed, a little bit low. By the way, how is Mantra doing? I saw that the CEO of Mantra. Wow. Okay. Ouch. I saw the CEO of Mantra was on. What is it called? On token. In what is? Was it in Dubai? On that recent expo. Let's see. This is the Binance chart. Can we see? I don't want to have USDC. I want to have USDT on that. Okay, there we have more chart. Okay, so Mantra is back down to absolute. Yeah. Where it started, basically, right? This is also this is a good lesson why you have to take your profit. And I bet the person that took profit here and then was really kicking themselves here is now pretty happy that they locked in profits here. So this could be this is the full story. Whereas the person that did not lock in profits here and is like, see, and now we're going into the bull run and I'm up already 100x, is going to cry a lot down here, right? So it's like the one that locks in the profits here feels bad medium term. The one that locks in no profits up here feels bad forever, probably, because we don't know when, if, how this recovers. I mean, you could argue that, hey, could this ever come back? I doubt it, to be honest, because it would be now a nice 23x play to buy this here, but there's so much in circulation immediately. I mean, could it be worth a play? Yes, sure. I mean, that's for you to decide, right? Do I want to touch this? I don't know. I didn't see the end of this fall yet. And yeah, there's massive sales volume has happened. So this is Not going to talk too much about we see a couple of altcoins are turning green here right now as we speak, which is always good. AKT is also a good one, I think. AI play, this could be doing really well. Akash Network. I think that TA might have gone completely out of the window. I don't want to even look at that. Yeah, not really. We did fall, right? But it was not an inverse head and shoulders. It was this played out. Okay. Yeah, we have this downward sloping resistance. We did not bounce here from when we looked at it, and now the question is, how will this continue? And this is the problem. So we expected, let's discuss this, right? We expected the altcoin season early, and that made many things biased bullish with no reason, right? So because we expected the altcoin season coming in here, and with we, I mean myself, guilty as charged, right? I expected it here. My bias looking at these altcoins was, okay, well then we are set for explosion, yeah, and we did not explode. By the way, how's Chili's doing? It's also interesting, right? Okay, interesting. Let's get a better chart here. Why is every of these against USDC? That's not what we want. Okay, so here are the levels, broke through all levels. Wow, Chili's is absolutely massively down. It's not as down as here overhead resistance pointed out, but Chili's is still making new lows, right? So maybe you could even okay, the only thing that you could maybe argue for Chili's, I don't know if you're following Chili's or not, but it's a fan token project. The only thing that you could argue somehow for Chili's would be maybe to say you are in some kind of a falling channel, right? Or looking at the non-logarithmic, look at that, by the way, I have to get rid of more lines. Looking at the non-logarithmic, you are very close to where everything began, right? And maybe that's where the bottom is coming in at some point. I remember this setup here because I bought Chili's down there. I just didn't take profit here like an idiot. I should have. I turned, I think, $50 into 2,000 or so. I didn't take profits because I thought it would go 10x from there. But the question is, can it do it again? And the funny thing is, it does the same thing again like it did here, right? Like it did down here. Here also you had like this massive rounding bottoms, which was by the way the reason that I bought it in the first place. It was because of TA, not because of what it is that I found out later. But we could see something like that again, right? So these rounding bottoms and then an explosion in price. We will see. But for many altcoins, that's the story. Whereas for other altcoins, it's just the beginning of a run, right? Good morning, Roman. Good to see you. So guys, let me know which altcoins interest you most. What is a no-brainer for the altcoin season? Let me know. Which altcoins should we look at? I think VeChain is definitely one that we need to look at as well. VAT USDT. VeChain has hopefully found its support here. We are up now since a couple of weeks. That's also way too many lines. Let's get rid of some things here. Let's get rid of things. That was very valid breakout. Here we have let's get rid of that as well. Let's get rid of the short term. I hope that it still follows this, right? I think so, but since we are expecting altcoin season later, we might expect VeChain to break up later, right? The targets still remain valid, has nothing to do with any time predictions or so. This is just targets for me to take profit. Let's see, small OMI update. Yeah, why not? I mean, we did a big OMI update yesterday in the live stream, but let's do an OMI update. Yeah, as I said before, this is a little bit problematic here because we are out of this wedge, and now basically there is no price. There is nothing below that, right? We see this support here for unfolding, but basically the abyss is open, right? And probably this is going to continue until there is somewhat of a valid bottom formation, right? We see that every purchase is being sold into directly still. So someone's still selling big amounts of OMI, because every time someone is buying, I don't know, like Ernie just said, 50 million or something like that, someone is selling into it. I think that's what continues to happen. until it doesn't, right? And with the expectation that altcoin season is not here yet, which we see here, right? For OMI, the story remains the same, right? Here we are. I've opened it 2 times. Yesterday we did a little bit of discussion on, or not a discussion, but I just outlined a little bit what we need and what we already have, right? So a little bit of faster speed in the app can still, or still to we put it on the other side. We need to improve it still, but the app speed is already better. Yeah. Now is improve app speed to make it really feel good. It's now usable. Before it wasn't even usable. And that's for the Vivi, right? Ecomi Vivi team. Stacker, I would like to, oh, by the way, there was another one for stackers, like offer function, that you can trigger someone or get someone on Stacker and say, hey, I want this from your collection, here's an offer. That would be good. Other than that, I think what we really need is the new roadmap. So what is there for Ecomi? What's going to be there in the bull run? There's still time because of that. Yeah, not so visible altcoin season. US exchanges, I think, are the main thing which you want to start dropping then. We need a more Web3 oriented approach to attract the crypto guys. More Web3 story, either self-custody or whatever, right? Something else. Maybe perks attached to this, maybe more NFT-ish appearance and so on. Influencer marketing, pay some influencers to talk about Ecomi and Vivi, which they already did once during Blackpink, but it was probably too early. And they only did it with Wendy O. OMI and Viviverse would be a nice thing to have, but it's not crucial, I guess. Improved app speed is absolutely crucial in my opinion. Yeah, and what do we have? Faster speed in the app. We already have it a little bit, so usable. 30% Apple fee removed is a big one, and the lawsuit is over. The appeal could be happening until the end of the month, I heard. So that's basically it. Until then, we're still waiting for the whales to make their move. For the, real whales, real big fat money that goes into this. By the way, non-logarithmic, it looks like this. So you really don't, on a non-logarithmic, let's just get rid of everything here. On a non-logarithmic, you're basically flattening, right? I mean, it's just, you had big pump, a dead cat bounce, and now you're waiting for the next action, right? So depending on how you look at it, it's just going a little bit lower all the time. The spikes are not that big. If you're zooming in, they are, right? But on the logarithmic, you see a little bit more how the, it's basically logarithmic is basically a representation of the axis. So if you double, no matter where you double, it always in the logarithmic is always represented the same, no matter the price numbers, right? In a normal scale, you double from microcents to another one, you barely see it, right? Here in the logarithmic, a doubling is a bigger spike, right? This also shows a harder downside, so to say, on the logarithmic, right? By the way, this looks like all-time low, but it's actually not, right? So I'm going to pull this up quickly here in one that I don't need anymore. Coin lore Ecomi. So on coin lore, you can see very early charts. There you go. And just for you to if you want to research some older coins, this is where the trading view charts start, because that's where the first exchange listings were happening. And this is where people made the most money, right? People that were since 2019 or so in this, they were buying OMI at quadruple 024, for example. And so 4 zeros 24. And then we have a small spike here at 00018, which could be also where the bottom then is, right? So that was a massive spike. And then we have quadruple 04554, and then boom, suddenly bam, this thing goes 1000x. And went into the bull run, okay? And that went over the course of a couple of days, right? So it's out of the nothingness. This went from 21st of January up to March of January. The entire gains were made, and from then it was bear market again. So within 2 months, everything happened, which means once you have the returns, you need to take profit quickly, right? Because everything besides that was, oh shit, the price went all the way back down, my gains are erased, and then it came back up, and everyone sold into that because they wanted to lock in some profits, right? Some bigger profits. Can you look at magnetics? Sure. Let's see, okay, magnetics is not here. What's the, yeah, I don't know what that is. There's Magic Eden, Mag 7 Treasure. Let's see. Let's see if it's somewhere. Let's see if it's somewhere. Where's my search bar? There we go. What was it? Magnetics. Magneti USD, is it that? Okay, so recently launched. Recently is good, in March, yeah. I don't know what it does, but it seems to be from a chart pointer okay-ish. Let's go to CoinGecko, or let's get CoinRank, maybe. CoinRank.io, I think that's it, right? I think it's CoinRank.io. Oh, sorry, no, then it's CoinRanking, maybe. CoinRanking.io. Let's see. Let's see if that's it. That takes way too long to load. What was that? I was looking up in the last Sui vesting. There it is. It's CryptoRank.io, not CoinRank. There you go. Okay. Where is the search bar? Magnetics. There you go. Magnetics. It's on Radium. Is a meme token on Solana network. Okay, congratulations. You have one of 1 million meme tokens that recently launched. It has a $4 million market cap. I don't know. Yeah. To each their own. I'm not going to touch that, but maybe other people like it. So there we go. By the way, this site, CryptoRank.io, is pretty good for initial research on what something does. So for example, let's say you want to know about top 100 here. let's say you want to research Celestia, right? Where is it? Fuck. There we go. Celestia. So then you can look at vesting, and then you see, for example, how much is in which part of the ecosystem, Series A, B, initial core contributors, seed, future incentive, and we see that Celestia just had the start of 1, 2, and 3 year unlocks. Yeah, probably they thought that this is where the bull run is already happening, and now these unlocks are happening, and you can also see what the next unlock is. It's today, by the way. Today they are going to unlock 1.52 billion. It seems, at least. Oh no, sorry, not that much. 242 million, but overall unlocked is 1.5 billion already dollars. So it's R&D ecosystem, and Series B is having token unlocks at the moment. So there's slow and steady dilution, but it's also predictable, and it seems to be but it's look at this every day. It's like today, tomorrow, then another day or two left. So it's every day 0.1% of the supply. Which is for Celestia, for example, right? So we can also look at AKT for here. By the way, and also on the overview you can. And I'm not affiliated or anything, right? Don't get me wrong here, but you can, on the overview, you can see, for example, if they have the docs team, who is on that team, then you can research the team. If that makes sense or not, you can see the returns and so on. Then what it is, right, is a modular blockchain network that offers pluggable out-of-the-box data availability layer solution that allows Web3 developers to plug and play the DA layer into their existing network ecosystem. Data availability sampling and name-spaced Merkle trees, I have no fucking clue what that is, are the two novel mechanisms Celestia DA layer adopts, and so on, right? So, interesting, and you can do that for every coin, right? By the way, we can go night mode here. It's way more comfortable in the morning hours. AKT, a cache network, for example. Let's look at the by the way, there's no vesting information on that one, but you also can see which markets you can get it on, right? If it's on exchanges or not, and so on. Analytics, yeah, and then you see it here also. AKT also has the docs team. These are all big coins, right? I mean, $385 million market cap is not that big, but you can also watch the the chart directly here. I think from the AI perspective, this could be a good one. AKT. Hey, Energy, how is the secret rare farming going for you? I hear that you are still adding to the secret rares. I also want to buy some secret rares, but my research is a little bit more difficult since Stacker doesn't have the gem prices anymore. It's a little bit weird to find that. Anyways, that's that for the altcoins. How is life? Oh, it's really good. I have to do a lot of stuff around work, the wedding planning and stuff like that. So a lot of things happening there. But overall, it's okay. It's okay-ish. Now we only need a big fat crypto run, right, to have fun here. But as you've seen, guys, also we have more content on this channel. So make sure to be subscribed, likes up, notifications on and so on. And by the way, also leave a comment if you watch this later, if your favorite altcoins that you want to look at. I don't know why people are so excited about Fartcoin. It's crazy, right? Look at this Fartcoin. What is happening? Ah, man. People are literally buying up Fartcoin. It's crazy. It's in a nice uptrend, sitting on around 310 SR. I guess I have enough. Yeah, let's see. I mean, that's crazy numbers. That's like it's like 15 times of what I have or so. It's crazy. Yeah, Fartcoin. Yeah, so guys, that's it. Make sure to stay tuned for more news, videos, live streams, Crypto Morning Coffee, and be subscribed with notifications on for that so that you never miss out. Chris Klein, I will take this one more here. Can we look at LTC and Floki, please? Possibly, absolutely. For the rare hodlers, I go back on that. Litecoin, USDT. Yep. Same setup here. Let's go into a more long. Okay. Let's go into the monthly. I see. An uptrend on the very long time frame, where we just bounced, apparently. You could also, yeah, I would say that's basically it. I mean, you have a lot of touch points here, right? Slice through it. Here is a bigger one, right? Here, small, here, right? These are all monthly bounces. Here is a bigger one, and then the last one. So I would say if one trend is valid, then it's this one. Get out of my face. I want to see. Okay, there you go. I mean, that's it, right? So you're bounced. You want to see the upside, but I mean, at some point also you need to, and this is basically where it's going to. It's the absolute overhead resistance since 2018. So from 87 to 280, and then it's absolutely take profit territory, in my opinion. I can be wrong. I've showed that many times that I can be wrong. What was the other one? Floki, right? Floki, USDT. Yeah, we highlighted that as big resistance right here for Floki. We did not go through it. It remains resistance. It seems also that we have a nice level of support at around this area, which was previous overhead resistance, right? Yeah. This is a good area to bounce and continue. I see bull cross, but we need to confirmation to the upside here on. I mean, we are on a monthly, right? We want on the weekly, we see it even better. This is the overhead resistance. We can also put it in a nice box shape here. That's the level you want to get through. But for me, that looks bullish. This bounce looks bullish on top of this. Basically, you flipped previous overhead resistance into support. That doesn't mean you can't crash, but also the TSI is going into bull mode. But on the weekly, you also your momentum is looking to the upside. So I'd expect Floki to go back at least to 000137 here, this area. So I'd say Floki definitely should go back to this area here. Yeah, so here, yeah. But that's basically it, guys. This is what you get when you are a rare hodler. You can ask in the last second for some more some more views on your favorite coins. So make sure to or consider becoming a rare hodler. Get access to the Telegram group. Look at have me look at your favorite coins. But now it's time to go. Make some money in the hamster wheel and ape it into crypto. So guys, wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video or live stream. Smash the likes and bye.